Hey folks, Rob Howdy here with my friend and colleague Bilal Hafiz, and we got on a bit of a segue talking and just decided, bugger it, let's film it. And we were going over kind of gimmicks in our field and like the get rich quick scheme stuff. I'm a registered massage therapist and a sports injury therapist. Bilal is a personal trainer and has been doing a lot of talks around the Muslim community in terms of balancing demands on daily living and lifestyle. And it's tough to navigate the balance of, morality and money for a lot of people. And we run into that a lot in our fields. It's been really irritating us, gnawing at us.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough to see, and it's tough to not want to comment or go at, just because our goal is to help, is to make people healthier, is to provide sound information that is backed by research and that is both credible and something that can actually bring results as well. However, then you see stuff like, oh, take this detox and you'll be okay, or this one recipe will make you lose all your weight, or this one exercise and you'll never have to do anything ever again. If that was the case, we would both be billionaires by now, or we would be out of business, one or the other. Actually, you'd be out of business, because he doesn't do training, he does sports therapy, and
no one will ever be hurt again, right?
Yeah. Actually, I would probably hire you, but so I could be your one. There you go.
Okay.
I could be your one client.
All right, yeah.
Right. But that's honestly one thing is. So what we want to do is we want to try to provide you guys with how to be able to, why it is that it's so common. It's the same reason why there's so many supplement companies that make millions and millions. It's a probably billion-dollar corporation now. And a lot of it is because people buy into it, right? That get rich quick schemes that you see within the business or finance world that refuse to die out. It's the same thing in health and fitness and nutrition, is because unfortunately as a society sometimes we don't have the patience that's required, right? Like we have to sometimes remember that if we spent the last 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, sometimes 20 years neglecting ourselves, that 1 month won't flip it on its head.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, if it took you a lot of time to get somewhere, it's likely going to take you a lot of time to get away from there without massive drastic changes. So hearing that's really unpalatable for a lot of people. That sucks. I have to put in work. I have to change my lifestyle. I have to sleep more. I don't want to sleep more. I want to watch reruns of MASH. It's an awesome show, but I mean, come on, sleep. It was a great show.
I haven't seen it. Not my cup of tea, but
oh, I loved it. But anyhow, sorry. Yes, that's really unpalatable for someone to hear. Oh, well, I work this many hours a week, and I got 3 kids, and I still gotta look after the house, and now I have to sleep more, and eat better, and exercise more. And changing a work-life balance, changing your lifestyle balance, that's a lot. A magical tea, 2 minutes a day, that's Mickey Mouse. That's super simple. And so it sells well. It's very tempting, it's very palatable, it's very easy. It's not just simple, it's easy. I mean, changing your lifestyle is simple too, but it's not easy. It's like if I said move a mountain, they gave you a shovel. That's a simple task, but it's not easy, it's a lot of work. You want to lose weight, feel better, feel stronger, be healthier. That's simple, but it's not easy. But if someone comes along simple and easy, and all you gotta do is trade a bunch of money for it, you'll do it. And they'll be happy. And that's what we run into a lot in our field. There's a lot of magical teas, just add this superfood, add this superfood to your diet
and
for this one change.
Will go away.
Oh my gosh, it will change. It's transcendental, really. Yeah.
And you see that with all these fancy diets and gimmicks. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against diets, right? Like, if it works for you and if you can be consistent on it, then go for it. For example, the new one now, it was what's the one where you cut out carbs and raise your fat?
Keto,
there you go.
Keto.
It was keto for a long time, and keto's still kind of there, but it's starting to turn towards vegetarian. Everyone's becoming vegetarian.
Yeah.
And now, vegetarians seem to be the crazier ones that love to go at people. If you're not vegetarian, I'm sorry. Those who are more zealots towards it.
That was the vegetarian I used to be.
But
Yeah.
I will say, there's nothing wrong with becoming vegetarian. That's the first thing. However, it is not the all end all. And you see a lot of Netflix documentaries. You see a lot of information that exists. 99.9% of the people that are peddling that it's the way and only way usually have some sort of financial gain to gain from it.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing across the board. The key ingredient in all of them is lowering your caloric intake.
Yeah.
Right? And that's one thing that's really important to remember, that if you want to go keto, if you want to go paleo, if you want to do intermittent fasting, if you want to do vegetarian, if you want to go vegan, whatever it is that you want, whatever boat you want to jump on, go for it. Just remember, they all have drawbacks. They all have good things in them, right? But the key is still going to be lowering caloric intake. But you still have to understand that when you pick certain ones, there's something you're probably going to be missing. So for example, you go vegetarian, you're going to be missing certain vitamins that you will be getting from your meat sources that you might not. So there's certain things that you might have to add to your diet that might not have been there, that might have been there before. However, doesn't mean that's bad. Just speak to someone who is a registered dietitian, who is a professional or expert in that field. Just stop going based on random documentaries that we find online.
I'm going to steal this. Now, think about this. That was a lot of complexity in that tangent. Now, what if I came up with the shredded newspaper diet?
Shredded
All
newspaper.
you got... Yes! Think about it. It's empty calories, right? Non-calories. It's empty bulk. Just eat shredded newspaper. You'll lose weight. That's super simple. You're going to feel full, and you're going to lose weight, and I mean... Your skin will glow from the ink, maybe?
A lot of fiber.
Yeah, you will be very regular or backed right up. One or the other, there's no in between.
Probably backed right up. I don't think your body will be able to digest that correctly.
Perfect, fine. Then, I mean,
You won't want
with
to
a coffee enema, boom, we've got our mix. We sell premium shredded newspaper.
The best way to lose weight and the quickest way to lose weight is food poisoning.
There you go. Okay, so...
If you really want to lose weight, eat raw meat.
So undercook your chicken and you will lose weight. Don't go vegetarian. Go birditarian, undercook your chicken.
This is not endorsed, by the way. A disclaimer, please do not sue us for...
Please realize this is satire. But, yeah, with what Bilal's talking about, he's talking about the complexity of calories in, calories out. And it's not how much did you eat versus how much did you burn. It's how much did you process. What is the plus and minus of what your body processed? And that is complex as hell. And trying to make that decision and understand all the nuance of that is so difficult. I mean, even for me, and I'm educated in this stuff, and I still have to stop and be like, okay, wait, I got to go back to the evidence, see what the evidence says on this right now, because my information, my education may be out of date. I could be wrong. I could be misinformed. There's a lot there. It's so simple to just say, here's my gimmick. And now, from us as essentially healthcare professionals, like Bilal works on making people stronger, improving their quality of life, helping them put the work in to do it. I work on helping people with pain, mobility, improving their quality of life, helping them put the work into it. And if we could all of a sudden give them a panacea, a really simple, easy fix, that looks really tempting to us, right? I mean, I got the cure. I got the secret. That's it. It's always about a secret, right? I mean, a lot of these gimmicks are, my special patterns course is going to teach you how to be a better runner. My special mobility course is going to teach you to throw faster. My special diet is going to teach you to lose weight quicker. It is the secret. And that's very lucrative for people in our field. And so it becomes the trade-off of money versus morality. Where do you trade it off? You can have all the letters behind your name you want, but if you trade in all that education for a dollar sign, in my mind, you've made the wrong decision.
So here's one way that we can manipulate exactly what we're saying in order for us to get a lot of views on this video, is to put the caption, what the secret trainers don't want you to know.
Right? Oh yeah,
Right?
we can
Right?
clickbait the heck out of this.
But regardless of what field you choose, it's marketing. Marketers ruin everything, right? That's a thing, right? And any good marketer out there will know that.
Oh,
Right? So when there is value behind something,
you're gonna get
it will
keel-hauled.
be overvalued
Oh, yeah.
way more than it needs to be.
Yeah.
So the same thing when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to fitness, when it comes to physiotherapy, when it comes to taking care of yourself overall, there's still money to be made. When there's money to be made, people will find a way to make it in an unsavory way, right? And then you're gonna have those who are trying to do it ethically. Now, we do our best. I like Robert said, we do our best to do our own research, right? In the sense where if we are wrong on something, I have no problem saying I don't know. And if you ask any one of my clients, I have no problem with saying I don't know, because if anybody says that they know everything and anything about any one of those, whether it be fitness, nutrition, supplements, etc., they're lying to you. Because-
I can help you. That's it. I can help you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Right. So it's right, and that's one thing that's important in order for us to really find the person that's gonna to find the person that's really gonna fit, that's really gonna be able to help you the best, is to make sure that you're finding someone who's not so fixated on one way or the highway, one way or the highway. Sorry.
My way or the highway?
Yeah,
My way or the highway,
There you
yeah.
go. All right, my way or the highway. For example, if they're like, for example, I love intermittent fasting. I think it's a great way to really lower your caloric intake, to be mindful of restricting your eating window, right? Because a lot of people, for example, love snacking late at night. You're gonna put Netflix on, whatever TV show it is, MASH or any other TV show,
Good show.
right? In the Muslim community, the one that's really popular right now is Arturo. I'll tell you about that. It's actually a wicked show. It has subtitles. That's how it's a Turkish show, right?
Okay.
And the Muslims are good guys, which are rare. So that's awesome.
Nice. Okay. Win.
So yeah, exactly. So that's one thing. And what happens is, you open the bag of chips, you open chocolates, whatever it is, you're sitting there, you're just munching it and not realizing how many more calories you're taking in. So something like intermittent fasting would work really well. Why? Because you're done eating at, say, 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and then you start eating at, say, 12 p.m., right? It creates a window, right? So within that window, it's very hard for you to overeat within that window, right? Now, Ramadan doesn't count, right? Because I think Muslims in general have shown, and we are the research that's shown that simply intermittent fasting will not make you lose weight, right? Because the vast majority of Muslims who fast in that 30 days actually gain weight. And we all know it, right? Actually gain weight because in that short period of time, we can still pack on the calories. It's just, it's more of it's more because of the festivities and everything we take part in during that month that make us eat fried food and everything else that comes with it, right?
Like really good fried food.
So outside of that month, we're generally not going to be exposed to it, right? So hence why we're more likely to lose weight still following that method in that sense, right? So even though I'm a big proponent of intermittent fasting, the vast majority of my clients don't do intermittent fasting. And I tell them don't do it because it's not going to work for you. Because for them, breakfast is important for them because they feel like they want that kick of energy and they need to get going. Some people can wake up in the morning and they're like, I don't even think about food. And I'm like, all right, awesome. If you don't think about food, just eat at lunch. You're okay.
That's right.
And me, on the other hand, I like having my breakfast and my cup of coffee and so forth. Like, I like having a big breakfast. And
You're an old man.
That's true.
You're an old man.
I'm younger than you.
I don't care. You're an old man.
It's because I have 2 kids. It makes me older.
Yeah.
Based on
Don't
your
have
age
kids,
is
you get
determined.
old.
Yeah, your age is based on how many kids you have. Yeah, it's like 10 years.
Do you need your newspaper with that? You're not eating the newspaper. You're reading the newspaper. You're like coffee, breakfast, newspaper, slippers. He's got slippers. You got slippers, don't you?
I have hardwood floors, so you kind of need to.
Yes. He's an old man. All right.
My back
Perfect.
cracks, my knee cracks. Just the way of life, I guess.
Oh, your circle of life is not very circular right now, my friend.
That's why I come to him so often. I'm like, I'm getting old. I need to kind of put myself back together again.
But yeah, and so yeah, like, what are you saying? Things like intermittent fasting. Bilal has found a dietary approach that works for him, for his lifestyle, for his old manness, and for his overall weight management. Because this guy likes to eat.
true.
And I've seen you go from, God, I think you've dropped like 30 pounds since I met you.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've
Actually, no, that's not true. I think I went back to the weight that I was at when we first met.
what?
I've just put on more muscle.
Okay, well you look like you look a lot like smaller in profile.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm a
he's
lot
bulked up
stronger.
muscle wise. Yeah, you are stronger. That's true. He's bulked up muscle wise. He's lost body fat, but diet, sleep, exercise management. That's complex. That's frustrating.
With 2 kids.
With 2 kids, he's cracked the code. He's cracked the code.
Secret.
Oh, there you go.
Secret.
Yeah. So this is going to be the, what do we call it, Hafiz approach? I mean, that's got a bit of a ring to it.
Stronger with Bilal approach.
Plug.
There you go.
All right, strong with Bilal approach.
Sign up below. If you do it in the first hour, first 10 people to sign up in the first hour will have to pay full price, but everybody else after that will also be paying full price.
Perfect. That's good marketing. I have to learn how to put a hyperlink into a video now, don't I?
Exactly.
Oh crap.
Click below.
I don't want to have to learn new things. We're just talking about how much work we have to put into learning new things, and now he's forcing me to learn more new things, and apparently learn to speak.
So here, I have
Here.
a question. I have a question for you now.
Hit me.
So, as someone who plays a lot of sports, right, I
Yep.
work out a ton, right? Having someone like Robert readily available that I can speak to, that I can message and talk to, be like, hey, this is not feeling right. What should I do? Even with someone, not to toot my own horn, but like I know my stuff, right?
Yeah.
But I still make sure I have someone who is an expert in that field that I can reach out to, that I can speak to, that I can set up an appointment with, and I still come to, and so forth, and make sure that I'm still being taken care of, right? So even myself being a trainer, I still have somebody to help me take care of myself in that sense, right? How can people who are watching this video figure out the right person to go to when
What's
it
on the
comes
level
to
for them, eh?
yeah, right. But
Mhm.
also be able to, for example, vast majority of people have lower back pain, knee
Okay.
pain. When they show up to their average physiotherapist or their average massage therapist and so forth, down to because people generally go based on reviews that you might find on Yelp or you might find on Google or
That you can
or
pay
it's
for or
literally
cheat,
the
yeah.
closest one or based on whichever is cheaper. But how do you differentiate between those who are good and those who are okay or should avoid, and those who are great that you should be focusing on? Basically, how do you find a good trainer? How do you find someone that's really good in being able to help you get better?
Okay, so speaking of cracking the code, this is one that I haven't cracked yet. I have some basic suggestions on that. Biggest, most simple thing is understanding your needs, because almost every trainer or therapist you see will be good for someone. That's the weird thing. That's the hardest thing to wrap your mind around, is even the worst of us might be a good fit for someone. And if their needs are met by that therapist, they're a good therapist for them. Which is, a difficult thing to wrap your head around when I spend all this time studying and trying to be aware of where the evidence is, and it's an overwhelming sea of data to try to sift through. And so I'm following all these people who do some of their own sifting, and that lets me trickle down to what works for me. But then there's other people who just don't bother putting any work in. But they're the perfect fit for someone else. And so trying to find the person that's right for you is going to be understanding what your needs are. Understanding where your own confirmation bias is, for example. That plays a role in how much pain relief you'll get, how much mobility increase you might get, how much better you'll feel moving forward. As strange as that is, because pain is so complex, knowing your own needs and your own confirmation bias can matter. So finding a good therapist, a good clinician, a good trainer, a good healthcare professional, a good lifestyle coach, anything for you is going to have to jive with whether it meets you as a human and your needs, not just what the evidence says. And as an evidence junkie like me, that's a weird thing to have to admit. So that's one big thing. I mean, okay, I'm a pretty decent fit for you as a therapist, right? Bilal wants to know, what can I do differently day to day? How can I address this? What kind of timeline am I looking at? What progression through that timeline? My answers are almost always, here are some things we can try. Here's some things you can introduce, and we try that out. You rate the things you go with, try them out, see how you feel, let me know, and we'll juggle as we go. Timeline for this injury, the evidence seems to say this, but could be this. And he walks away with an idea of, well, I'm not certain, but I have some ideas to start with, and I play with it, and that works for Bilal. He's never, ever walked in to say, yo, fix me, bro. He walks in, he's like, okay, I need your help, or...
Wait, I think I've said that.
Have you? Ah, crap.
Maybe not in the same context. Not in the same context, though. Not in the same context that you don't worry.
Okay, I'm eating my words, I guess.
I'm just messing with you.
I was like, wait, you said this? No!
Okay.
But yeah, like, he doesn't come in and he says, fix me, I expect to be better in one go. He comes in and he says, how do I troubleshoot this for me?
So wait, there's no magic wand?
I mean, we can make one. That would be marketable. That would be marketable. Oh my god, your office needs a magic wand that says SWB.
There you go.
That would be pretty sick, actually.
I would.
Get one of your daughters to design that.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think my older one would be on a heartbeat. That'd be awesome.
Sparkles and ribbons.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's, long story short for that answer is it's a complex answer, which sucks. And it's kind of knowing what your needs are. If your needs include getting stronger, seek out a good personal trainer for you. Someone who actually keeps up with knowing what's most effective for your age bracket. If you're an octogenarian with bilateral hip replacement, don't go to the 20-year-old powerlifter. If you're a 20-year-old powerlifter wannabe, go to the 20-year-old powerlifter. So go with your needs. From there, if it's lifestyle choices, or if it's weight loss, if it's health management, what does health management even mean? If it's improving your overall health, if it's pain management, go to someone who deals in that field. Like I'm pretty good with pain management, mobility. Bilal's pretty great with strength training. Like, one of the things I've noticed over the years, he's stayed pretty much about the basics and applying the basics in better ways and refining that rather than gimmick. Oh, I got the new stick. Oh, I'm with the new functional patterns. Oh my god, this new guru said this. He's been, okay, lift heavy. And the evidence is backed him the whole time. That's a good, solid approach. So find someone whose approach matches your needs like that.
For example, actually a few weeks ago I had someone come to me who was looking to compete in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I'm not a bodybuilder, nor will I ever be a bodybuilder. There's many different fields within fitness, like you strongman, powerlifting, strength training, parkour, functional training, etc. And there's hundreds of different things that you can do. That's not my field of expertise. Like, I know the gist of it. I could help you put on muscle, but if you really want to compete, that's not my thing. There are professionals within that, right, that do exactly that. So I referred out to another friend of mine who could help him, right? As opposed to just being like, yeah, just come in. I'm like, it's not my scope of practice, right?
Yeah.
For example,
Well, I mean, it is in your scope.
It
It's
is
not
to
your
an
comfort
extent.
zone. It's just not your training zone.
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
For example, I've had people that come to me with lower back pain and so forth, that if I can't figure out what's going on, I have no problem with telling them, I'm not sure what's going on. Here's Robert.
Yeah.
Go to him. And the amount of people that have come to Robert, and simply because it's about knowing your own limitations, which everyone is going to have, right? But making sure that we're able to find someone that is willing to refer out and not willing to just keep throwing you against the wall and trying to see what sticks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And for example, Robert, still to this day, I'd say is hands down the best at what he does from
Thank you.
the people that I know. And it's simply because he takes that approach where it's not like, one thing I really like, and I've had this conversation, actually just talking to my wife because she had to actually go see someone recently, and the approach is always, don't come back and see me unless you've done those exercises, otherwise we're going to do the same thing again, right?
Yeah.
So you're always leaving with exercises that you need to do, and then, but as opposed to, you'll have some physiotherapists and some massage therapists and be like, yeah, no problem, just come see me every week, every week, 15, 20 minutes, or twice a week, 3 times a week, but then you haven't worked on the exercises to continue to keep getting stronger in that movement,
Yeah.
or you haven't done the basics that they should have given you, like stuff that you should be doing, homework, for example, that you should be doing, but you're still going in there, checking in, still paying, and and so forth, but then you're not actually getting anything out of it, right? You might feel a little bit better, but that's one thing I always respected about him, was that it wasn't simply just, oh, here, just come see me for the next 3 weeks, twice a week, 2 times a week, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
No matter what, you'll be perfectly fine. Everything will be good. Here's my guarantee, and I'll have my secret recipe. It's funny though. I actually ask him questions. Okay, so what should I be doing, right? And there's times when, stuff that he might want me to come back and do that I get those answers out of him, and he tells me no problem. Yeah, here, and then from there, progress from here, progress from there, and but it shows the ethical standards that he stands by, which is unfortunately not always the case with everyone else, right? So if you can find someone who's willing to be honest with you, hold on to them.
Yeah.
Physically.
Yeah. They're,
physically. It just took a while to figure that out.
Like the gears in my head kind of went clink.
No response for that. They're good to go.
Wow. I feel.
I was thinking emotionally, but that's a little weird. At least you physically just.
I feel targeted. I feel.
We'll walk in next time and see like 5 people holding on to you and be like, oh, sorry, you said physically. I'm just gonna hold on.
They just took it all literal.
1 limb per person.
Oh. Yeah, that sounds anatomically improbable. But yeah, that's kind of our take on that. The answer sucks because it's not an answer, unfortunately. It's a process, and processes mean work, and people don't necessarily want to do the work, and finding someone who's done the work is another process, and holy crap, it's just a spiral of extra effort. And so dealing with the gimmicks in our field, dealing with the get-rich-quick stuff, we always have to step back and kind of ask ourselves, does this sound a little too good to be true? If so, it probably is, and turf it. Or does this sound like something we can work with? Is this copacetic with our approach? Is this in keeping with our patients' or our clients' best interest? And if the answer is yes, we can include it. But if it's disempowering to our patients, we got to get rid of it. And so finding a practitioner of a sort who takes that into account, that would be one of your baseline questions. Will you empower me to be better on my own without you? If your answer is not a solid, an unhesitating yes to that, that pretty much cuts my flow chart right there. That sound like a viable one? I think that becomes a pretty easy binary answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of the guys you've referred to me, like, do you still train with law? I'm like, yeah, not as often, but I still do a lot of these lifts and it helps. Like, they know things that work for them. They know their good mornings, they know their deadlifts, they know their squats, they know those things help them feel better, things like that.
Yeah.
So they're taking stuff away and they're more empowered.
Yeah.
They still go see Bilal now and again? Yes. Do they see him regularly sometimes? Yes. Do some other ones fall off for a while and come back and say I need refreshers? Also yes.
The key is being able to leave with something, right?
Yeah.
So it's, for example, the good side of a trainer will be able to provide you with information and knowledge that when you leave after, say, whatever time that you sign up with that person, right? You're able to walk out and be like, oh man, I learned this stuff and I can start implementing it, right? But if it's a trainer who just puts you through the ringer every time, where you're just jumping up and down the entire time, just drained, sweating, throwing up, etc. the entire time, you haven't really learned anything because you're not mentally able to even focus because you're so tired every single time. Then clearly, they're just it's probably not the best approach to take. As opposed to even same thing with the.
Unless that's what you want, though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to go in, no think, no growth like that.
I actually have clients like that. I've had clients for years.
Yeah.
And for years on end. And they're just like, listen, Bill, I just want you to show up. Tell me what to do. I'm going to do that. I'm going to leave. I don't care what a squat is. Just tell me what to do, and I'm going to do the squat. Tell them do the squat, and they'll be like, yeah. And they're, they're zone out. Just do the exercise and go home. And that's fine, right? If that's the approach that you want to take, that you want to just, you just want someone to come and just work you out and go. But for the vast majority out there, because financially it does add up, right? You're probably looking for someone who you can walk away from knowing that you've learned something, that they had something to teach you.
Yeah.
right? And the same thing comes with, I don't think I've ever come back for the same injury to Robert. Because every time I leave, I learn something to get. Now, there are a few things that do linger,
Yeah.
right? And that doesn't mean that because you had the issue come up that's a bad thing. That's not what I'm trying to get across. What I'm trying to say is every time I leave from Robert is I've actually learned more, right? So there's times when I get hurt and I get excited about having to come see Robert because it becomes a class almost, right? It becomes like a learning experience where I've become stronger through that injury, right? And because of the stuff that I've learned from him that I didn't know, that I can then turn around and even implement with a lot of my clients and be like, here, some exercises that we can work on that I've learned through.
So I'm gonna see one of your workout videos, and it's just like, haven't seen Rob in a while. Is that what I'm hearing? From this?
Just injure myself just so I can go see Robert.
God, I missed
Now that I've
ginger beard.
Now that I've moved farther away from him, I'm like,
Yeah.
I need an excuse to come see you.
All right.
So
Okay.
might
Cool.
as
So yeah,
Yeah. There you go.
bros by injury. Sounds
There you
good.
go. Well, my kids already think I'm a trampoline anytime I lie on the floor, so they'll probably give me an injury or two. So, like, there you go.
That's the old man thing kicking in.
Yeah, basically.
You're earning it
Even though I'm younger than him.
chronologically. But yeah, so that's kind of our take on that. Kind of a rambling, meandering discussion, yes, but are your needs met? Do you know what your needs are? Can the person you're seeing help you meet them? If yes, they're a good fit for you. If no, it might be a gimmick.
And I guess to start closing off on the video, the one thing that we would suggest to all of you out there is there is no get-rich-quick scheme that you can follow, right? Understand that, it is a life approach to it, that you are going to have to make certain changes, right? But it doesn't need to be miserable. So if you have someone that you're following that is making it completely miserable, and I know a lot of guys that I know are going to make jokes about it in the comment section, which is awesome, which is go for it, right? But if it's being completely miserable, your energy levels haven't gone up, your mood hasn't gotten better, and so forth, then clearly it's not a good fit that you're going with, right? Where you feel completely drained, your caloric intake is so low where you can't even do daily functions, and then it's not a good thing to be going with, right? You want to make sure that whatever approach you take is actually getting you stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, psychologically, etc. All those things boxes start to check off, especially after the first few weeks, right? If someone's saying within a month you're going to see great results, but then ask yourself realistically and be honest with yourself, after that month, what's going to happen? Am I going to continue this lifestyle, right? If that answer is no, then it's probably not the best approach, right? Because we all have to work out for the rest of our lives. That's something that is there that we have to accept, right? We all have to eat cleaner, and that's something we have to accept, right? Now, you'll have your ups and downs, that's okay. But if we just go through these sprints and think it's just gonna last, no one can run forever. No one can sprint forever, right? That's why jogging, you can have people jog for 2 hours straight, but you can't sprint for 2 hours straight, right? So it's the same approach that you want to take. Think the long term, right? You can, unless you're getting married in a month or two, then it's different. And that's the only time I've actually had people sprint with me.
Yeah.
Is when they're like, listen, Bob, I'm getting married in 2 months.
And you look good in the tux.
Yeah, then I'm like, all right, listen, we're going to take an approach that I never take, but we have no choice because we have a specific date that we need to be ready for. Outside of that, we're going to get results. You're going to look great at the end of 3 months, so forth, blah, blah, blah. But it's not going to be those
Get a clear goal. Can you help me meet it? Blah, blah, blah. Right?
Yeah, and the same thing with the pain management part of it, right? Am I going to be better leaving here? I don't know. We'll find out, right?
Yeah.
There's no promises because we're all, each one's going to be on a case-to-case basis, right? But again, patience. It will come.
Patience, young Padawan. Thanks kindly.